God is showing the changing of times right here. God is showing how a people will go into darkness and how he will hand the scepter of power over to the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and how the mind state of these people would need to shift. How they would need to shift from the mindset of establishing themselves physically in this earth to establishing themselves spiritually. God will show through his activity in leading these children through their monumental walks all the way through Egypt and through their highs and lows through the promised land and all of the intricate experiences that they had throughout it all. What alignment does in allowing you to conquer and to overcome. How important alignment is. Many of you, God has shown you throughout the walks of your life how alignment is the main attractant to all the goodness in your life, whether it's material wealth, you want to get that house, you want to get that husband, you want to get that wife, you want to get that business going, you want to get that car. And how the dynamic between spirituality, the way that you see the world and the things that you desire of the world and how you see yourself in the world and your desire to receive things by way of what you see, feel, and know. And how all of this connects itself. How all of it comes together. Yet you will get to a point in your life like these children would get to, where there would be no more need to reach for all of these things. You will need to go inward. You will need to be able to determine what is important and what is not after a certain junction of acquiring stuff. After a certain junction of going through situations in life with people, you must get to a place where you determine what is important and what is not. You must graduate. That is what is happening here. I'm going somewhere with this. These people would see this situation as a disadvantage, but it is an extreme advantage. It is the shift between earthly prominence and internal ascension. Internal ascension was necessary all along, but they were completely enamored in the earthly prominence at the same time. God had built this nation of people up into a monumental nation amongst all other mighty nations. Yet they had a hard time balancing the physicality and the spirituality. Even though they had done it and had mastered it in a sense, they couldn't keep it stable. They were constantly in and out. So God says, I'm going to pass the scepter of power. And in passing the scepter of power, you now don't have that physical aspect at your reach any longer as you did before. But you still have that internal aspect. It is said that those that are born into this realm, that decide, those souls that make a conscientious decision to incarnate into this realm, are doing the hardest thing that you can do in the heavens. Because to incarnate in this realm at this time It's incarnate with a blank slate. That is what God is doing here in Baruch. He's creating a blank slate. All of that monumental stuff that you were talking about that made you so great before, no more. No more. You're not great anymore. Not by word of mouth. All of your enemies have been able to come upon you. They're wearing your mantle. They're dressed up with your stuff. They're saying that they're you. And you got to sit there and look at them and be like, you don't even remember you. A generation will come and go after this and would not even remember the monumental levels of success that these people experienced. It's as if not only did God bury the temple, the holiest of holies, in the ground, he buried everything. It's as if this is another reset that happened like the flood. These people would not remember all of the things that God did for their people, for their people before. It would be generations that would come that would have spent so long in the wilderness that they would have forgotten all the monumental things. They will take on the mantle of those that haven't, though. They will take on the mantle of the Assyrians and the Babylonians and all the people that know the story, the real story of these people. These people would take on the information that those beams of the house that hit the ground and scattered when this transition of power happened, will go and sell them. All of those vessels of the house, those prominent vessels, the princes, the priests, all of the people of power, were the people that the Babylonians took and put in their kingdom. Jeremiah. That's why Jeremiah is in Babylon. Daniel. And they're having them work for them and serve them. And they're treating them very good and giving them prominent positions so that they can get the information. And they're getting all of the information. Yet the people will be left in darkness. It will be very few that would have the information. And those that had it will become prominent. Whole bloodlines created. They will go underground with this information. Kingdoms of power erected off of this knowledge. But it would be somewhat like Nimrod did. It would be turned in a way where it will be commingled with abominations. And the people will be in darkness. They will become repetitively born into this existence, starting from a blank slate, forgetting all of the truth of who they are. All of it. And having to work themselves up incrementally, lifetime after lifetime. Making mistakes, getting lost, doing things in the world that don't serve them, wasting time, doing great things, learning great things, achieving great things, doing all the above. Lifetime after lifetime.